Greetings, Pokefans! Michael here, and welcome to a brand new trailer breakdown for Pokemon Sun and Moon. This morning, we got a awesome, spectacular new trailer for Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I just wanted to go through it and break down all the things that we saw and provide some theories for some pretty cool stuff that we're probably going to see in the story of these some new games. So, the first thing I want to look at is the new Pokemon that were announced. First is this Pokemon right here called Type Null. What a name. Didn't know we could have colons in Pokemon names. But it's the synthetic Pokemon, 6'3", has the ability Battle Armor, and this Pokemon actually was created. You can kind of see in its design there, it's got like seemingly different body parts. It's got a fin from like a fish Pokemon, but then it's got like claws from like a reptile or a bird, but then its back feet looks mammalian, and then its face is just all sorts of different stuff going on. Apparently, it was created down here at the bottom. You can see to rival those Pokemon often spoken of in mythology. This Pokemon was created to battle legendary Pokemon. So that's awesome. It's like a super cool Frankenstein Pokemon, but apparently it was too powerful, so the thing on its face is a mask that's used to hinder its ability, because otherwise it's just too strong. So that's super cool. I think it's really cool. I think the name's a bit weird. I feel like they could have called it something more creative than just Type Null. But overall, I think this Pokemon is really cool, and I'm really interested to see what happens with the story. But I have a little bit more to discuss about that later in the video. So then, the next Pokemon is Jangmo-O. Oh snap. Scaly Pokemon, Dragon type, bulletproof or soundproof. And this is probably, I'm predicting, it's going to be the pseudo-legendary. This is the basic form of the pseudo-legendary this region, because it's a cute little Dragon type Pokemon that will probably evolve into some really awesome, fully evolved Dragon type Pokemon. I just think Jangmo-O, I think it is really cute. I think it's cool. I think it has a ton of potential for some really, really badass final evolved forms. So I like Jangmo-O. And then the next two Pokemon, Alolan Rattata. We actually got this confirmed in the Nintendo Direct a couple days ago, but I didn't cover it because there wasn't enough information. But now that we see Alolan Rattata, they've been battling a lot with Yungoos. Oops, too far. They've been battling a lot with Yungoos, and like, you know, because Yungoos was brought there, like the whole mongoose taking care of rats things, and then by like having attacked by the Yungoos so much in the battle for territory, they kind of evolved and picked up their game to fight back. And so this is a dark type, more fearsome Alolan Rattata, and today in this new trailer we got to see Alolan Raticate, which is overweight. Very large cheeks. Apparently it's just like it lives in more urban environments, so therefore the diet that it finds there is a lot of probably thrown away fast food, and like Raticates, you know, it says that they like send out the Rattata to like bring them food and don't do anything and stuff like that. So that is Alolan Raticate. I think it's kind of goofy, to be honest. I think it makes sense. I think the idea behind making it overweight is logical, but I also feel like they could have made it look cooler. But that is Alolan Raticate and Rattata. Those are the new Pokemon that we got today. So the other things I want to show you is that there's a couple different things. I think I went to the wrong menu. Cool features. That's what it is. So, Pokemon Sun and Moon are 12 hours apart. So there's a lot of focus on the day and night theme, because obviously it's Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. Very day and night type things. But what's interesting is that Pokemon Moon, if you get Pokemon Moon, the time in the game is going to be set 12 hours different from the time in real life. So if you're playing the game during the day, it's always going to be night. So I thought that's pretty interesting. They have some pictures here. That's Sun, that's Moon at the same time. Assuming it's noon in real life, this is what Sun looks like, this is what Moon looks like. Oh, it's just those two pictures. Lame. But yeah, so that's interesting. Also, we got a little bit of information about the version exclusives. Not a whole lot, but we did get some. But they talked about how one of the first totem Pokemons in Sun is a Gumshoos, but in Moon, it's an Alolan Raticate. So I think that's a really interesting thing. So we got a bit of information about that. The next thing we got to see and learn about is the Aether Foundation. So this is a foundation that works to care for Pokemon and save Pokemon that have been hurt. We've known about that artificial island on the Alolan map. Turns out that's Aether's like base. It's called the Aether, probably Aether. The Aether Paradise, that's the name of it, and it's kind of a sanctuary for Pokemon that have been attacked by Team Skull or hurt in ways, and they care for them. The leader, the president, is Lusamine, and then the branch chief is Faba. He's got some trendy sunglasses. And then Wick is the Faba's assistant, and they all seem like very nice people. And then these are some of the employees. So I think it's an interesting idea, kind of like a good-seeming team, but I'll talk more about that a bit later once I finish going over all the information. Another new character that we got was a new member of Team Skull, a guy named Gladion. He is an enforcer, kind of like almost seems like the muscle, even though he looks kind of skinny. But he actually uses type Null. That's his partner Pokemon. So I think that's interesting that this seemingly random Team Skull member knows or uses type Null. So maybe he's not as random as we originally thought. So the next thing we got to see was, I might have gone to the wrong menu here. It might be, oh no, it's here. Dexio and Cena, those weird Professor Sycamore assistants from X and Y, have traveled to Alola and looking to research Zygarde, and they entrust you, some person that they probably just met, the Zygarde Cube, which is able to absorb the Zygarde cell form. So this kind of explains how the evolution process, how the evolution or form-changing process of Zygarde is going to happen. It seems as if once you have enough cells within the Zygarde Cube, then the possibility to change Zygarde forms can be triggered in battle, but you have to go around like kind of on a quest to find them around the region first. So that's now we kind of finally are getting some more information about how the Zygarde thing is going to work. We don't know exactly about like whether you catch a 10% or catch a 50% or if you catch a core. It's kind of still up in the air, but we finally know how the core or how the cell collecting is going to go about. So the last thing that we got in the trailer that is pretty freaking crazy is Ultra Beasts. A mysterious presence threatens the Alola region, Ultra Beasts. In the Alola region, rumors are flying about a mysterious creatures known as Ultra Beasts. Ultra Beasts possess mighty powers and could pose a threat to humans and Pokemon, so they are feared. It appears that the Aether Foundation is also conducting research on these Ultra Beasts. According to rumor, multiple Ultra Beasts exist, each of them called by a codename. This is the first one, UB01. It looks like a flying space jellyfish. But what's interesting about it is that it talks about how, down here at the bottom, while evidence of something like a survival instinct can be observed in UB01, no one knows whether it has a will of its own or any emotion. It's said that, for some reason, its movement resembles those of a young girl. It seems as if Ultra Beasts are going to play a very large part in the story, and what I'm curious to see is if they're just going to be kind of like boss battle aliens from another dimension, or if they're actually Pokemon that we can capture and battle with. Like, I don't know. It's something really freaking new, and I'm really interested to see what happens. But I have some theories about it that I think could work, and maybe explain where these Ultra Beasts are coming from. So, the first theory I have is that Team Aether is actually evil. Hear me out. One thing we've noticed about Team Skull is that so far in the story, they don't, in the trailers I mean, they don't appear to be as fearsome or as capable of an evil team as other teams in the past have been. It seems like all the evil teams in the past have had a lot of resources and seem like really, like, you know, they have lots of technology and stuff like that. But the general gist we're getting from Team Skull is that they're just kind of street thugs They just want to capture Pokemon and sell it. Like, the leader seems less professional and on top of things than the other leaders. I mean, if you think about, like, all the past team leaders, Giovanni, Maxie, Archie's a little bit sillier, but even him, like Cyrus, Lysander, Getsis, they're all, like, very intimidating, like, scary-looking people. Whereas, you know, Guzma here just looks like a, hey, kid, you wanna buy a watch, you know? Like, it's kind of different. So because of that, my theory is that Team Aether is actually the team that's gonna end up twisting things around and maybe becoming, like, the actual bad guys. Like, they appear to have, like, good motives, but maybe they're misguided and they're gonna do something that ends up being evil. And what I think might be happening has to do with the Ultra Beasts. It says that the Aether Foundation is researching Ultra Beasts. In the Japanese trailer, we see within the Aether Paradise, UB01 come out of a portal from, like, another dimension or realm or something like that to the Aether Foundation. So they have the technological means to research and do something with these. So I think it's possible that Team Aether, and more specifically Lusamine, are looking to utilize the Aether Beasts, or the Ultra Beasts, sorry, to kind of do something terrible with them. Another piece pointing towards this has to do with Type Null. Type Null is a Pokemon that was created as, like, a synthesis. One thing that I think makes it seem that Team Aether, the Aether Foundation, I'm already calling them like they're an evil team, created Type Null is the fact that Gladion is using it. I want to point something out here. Look at Lusamine. Blonde hair, green eyes. If we go to Team Skull here, Gladion. Same shade of blonde hair, green eyes. I think that they're somehow related. It's obviously not totally guaranteed, but I think they're somehow related. I think the Aether Foundation created Type Null to somehow use it to battle or take down legendary Pokemon, like Solgaleo or Lunala, probably depending on the region. Gladion was probably related to Aether Foundation somehow, didn't like that, thought it was wrong, maybe he rescued Type Null, and now joined Team Skull, not because he wants to be a street thug, but because he wants to take down the Aether Foundation and is using the Team Skull resources to help him do that, because he knows that the Aether Foundation isn't actually good. Another thing that could definitely be connected to this is, remember how UB01 said it had the appearance of a little girl, or a young girl? If we go down here to Lily. Lily, mysterious girl who assists the professor, play an important role in the story of Pokemon Sun and Moon. Again, same shade of blonde hair, same green eyes. I think that there is somehow a link between Lusamine, Gladion, and Lily. Like, they could be family members or something like that. And Gladion, like, is maybe secretly a good guy, maybe a bit misguided good guy, but knows that maybe Aether's up to no good. Maybe he's trying to protect Lily because Lily is somehow connected to the Ultra Beasts, and Aether is trying to use the Ultra Beasts maybe to, like, you know, maybe because they created Type Null to use its power to control one of the legendary Pokemon, but they failed. Gladion rescued it. Now Aether is trying to use the Ultra Beasts because they are unfamiliar and seem like they could be really powerful, and use them to take down the legendary Pokemon. So it seems like a super interesting story. I mean, obviously we don't know if Aether's actually evil, but I feel like that would be really cool if they end up being evil. So sorry if I kind of rambled there on that theory a bit. I just, like, had all these thoughts and I, like, wanted to get them out, and I don't know if I got them out super organized, but that is all I wanted to talk about. All the really cool things. I am even more hyped than ever for these games to come out. It seems like the story is going to be super, super interesting. The Ultra Beast is a really cool thing. I'm really excited to see whether they end up becoming Pokemon or whether they remain just creatures. I love how it's, like, not like, it's just so foreign, and I think it's really, really interesting. So I am super hyped about the games. Let me know down in the comments below how hyped you are and what you think of this whole Aether possibly being evil theory. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, that helps me out a lot. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I have a ton of awesome Pokemon content that I am sure you will enjoy. So I will be back tomorrow for the next episode of the Platinum Nuzlocke Let's Play. And that is all I have for now. So until next time, Poke fans, go to catch them all!
Everybody wants to get down.